Welcome back. We are heading into Chapter 3 now, which was a surprise to me. I didn't think we were done, but apparently we were. I hear an airship. I'm not entirely sure where. Ah, it's from above. Iceland Fortress. There's the sail at the top left. And it's strange some of them wear hats, but some do not. Why? Maybe he's just not a fan of the hat. So, the sails arrived, eh? And, every time I see this ship, my heart skips a beat. Hey, boss. Who needs a guy or a girl when you can fall in love with something like that? Don't think there's an engineer alive who'd deserve to look on her every day, though. It's my line. Maintenance Chief Gustav, thank you for coming, but please wear your hat. I know you've been busy. Hey, Sid. Wasn't expecting you to come meet us. I thought you'd moved up in the world and left behind your job as a garrison commander here. Well, I have. I'm intending to leave aboard a patrol ship with my men later on. Until then, however, I'm free, so I thought I may as well come and greet you. Well, good luck with the patrol, at least. Oh, yeah. Wasn't there an earthquake around here a bit ago? You didn't let anything happen to the sail, did you? No, the sail was in the air during the earthquake. The earthquake caused little damage in general, in fact. We were prepared in advance for it. Our facilities should still be perfect for your needs. Good to hear. Anyhow, we'd love to get down to work, but I'm wondering, where are the Royal Guard folks? Yeah, let me show you. We should be just in time for a bit of a show. Huh? What's going on? Why will give it here? I don't know. Is this a firing squad? Oh, it's a battle. Combatants at the ready. And begin. Hey! Ooh. And such. Julia, your attacks are too predictable. With a rapier, you should be able to overwhelm me with moves only possible with a light blade. Remember what I taught you, and come at me again. Sir. Yes, sir. Good, that's better. And now, my turn. Prepare to die. Ugh. Defense is the same way. Build an image of the flow of battle in your mind. Offense and defense. And use it to predict the foe's movements. Sir. Hiya? I mean, what she's doing wrong here is not, she's not cast Clock Up or anything. Dead. Enough. I call the match. It's nearly 3 and I've got a meeting to get to. Oh yes, I'm going to your meeting, sir. Yes. Not a whit less than I expected. I only taught you the barest of basics all those years ago. But you've come far on your own, Julia. Well done. No, sir. My performance was shameful. I could not best you. Don't disparage yourself, Schwalz. That was a very impressive display. But General, you're meeting. Remember who you're fighting, Captain. I've yet to meet a man or woman who can match blades with Cassius without having their sword swept from their hand in a few strokes. You did very well for yourself. I see why Cassius and Her Majesty place such stock in you. Thank you, sir. Still, a chance to practice like this doesn't come up very often. I'd like to continue until I'm truly unable to fight, if you don't mind. Good. Well, Cassius, up for risking skewering again? She may well manage it this time. Well, I'd be humbled to get poked down a peg. But I believe we have a visitor. Oh crap, they spotted us. Hi! Dang, if that wasn't one heck of a show. Well, of course, both of you. Captain Schwartz, that was very impressive. Lieutenant Colonel Sid. And the man with you is? Maintenance Chief Gustav, ma'am. I don't wear hats. The Central Factory sent me over. Nice to meet you, Captain. Oh, pardon me. I'm Captain Julius Schwartz, Company Commander of the Royal Guard. I do like hats. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Gustav. Seems that will be all for today, then. Alright, lads. Show's over. Back to your posts. Sir! They called us lads, I know, it's quite strange. Mind showing me to the Arsail's engine room? I'd like to get an idea of how we're going to attack this. Certainly. Follow me. You'll have to wear a hat, though. You'll have to excuse me, General Morgan. General Bright. General, thank you very much for your guidance. Not at all. These old bones needed a workout anyway. Captain, Mr. Gustav, take care with the Arsail and please wear a hat. Sir. No worries, General. I'll put a hat on, and the Arsail's like my baby. I won't let her down. I'm not going to wear a hat. I know. Captain Schwartz has gotten quite impressive. I swear she's even better than when I saw her last. Yes, she's come a long way very quickly. Even now, she's only a step or two below you and Richard, Colonel. Okay, and she can only grow. Indeed, watching youth on display like that gives me back a bit of my old drive. Cassius, how about it? I'll give you a skewering later if you're up for it. Morgan, that sounds quite, innuendo-ish. Not sure that'd be the best idea at your age. Besides, I heard you did quite well for yourself at last year's tournament in Gransel. You have to let the young folks have their moment occasionally. Huh. Why do you think I gave you command? You can say that. How about you stop complaining and do your job, I'd put my foot right into that hornet's nest. Speaking of a hornet's nest, Lieutenant Colonel, I believe you'll be assigned to the Guard Patrol. Yes, sir, I'll be leaving at noon. I'll be using 3 companies and 2 patrol ships. I'll be at the signing ceremony itself, but I won't be free until then. You're in charge of the defense of Gransel until then. Leave it to me, sir. I'll be sure to work well with the Brace Guild to make sure that nothing happens. I don't like it, but I suppose we've got little choice but to lean on those civilians this time. Warming up to the guild a little, Morgan? No. How dare you? Watchtowers, orbital sensors, a mined harbor, and gun emplacements covering all approaches. Perfect defense in every way. If that's the way you want to play, Cassius Bright, I'll just have to change the rules of the game a little, as suggested. Sir, just wait a bit longer, a little bit longer. Your freedom is coming soon, Colonel. I promise. This is Chapter 3. The Mad Tea Party. Please form your party. You may choose 2 other members aside from the mandatory members. But it's like, this is the thing. It's like, okay, yeah, we've got Zin around, a tank with superior offense and defense but weak with arts. We've got Tita has low stamina but wide area coverage and recovering abilities. It's like, yeah, but I don't like her lines. It's like, we've got an expert at recovery arts, possesses useful support crafts. It's like, yeah, I like her in the group. Absolutely love having her in the group. I got hiccups, but you know, she's right. And Olivier, he's got all the lines. There's just one big line. It has superior range of powerful arts, not limited by lines. It's like, yeah, it's like, to me, like he's the best character at the moment because he's got one huge line on his augment, so I can get all these high superior level like skills. So yeah, apparently. Okay, next up, Grandson. I mean the tower, because I really was expecting it to all lead to the tower, but I assume that's going to be more towards the end of the game. But you know, it's the sort of thing, I'm expecting stuff to lead to the towers. I want to talk about that actually. We'll head to the dock once everyone's ready. This is a request from the military, so I don't think we should dawdle too long. We should have time to finish any stray jobs or stray shopping before we have to go, though. Off we go. Right, so let's head to the tower, and what I'm going to do is, I wanted a moment where I could do my theories. Well, I was going to use that in the tower. I was going to do that moment at the tower, so let's go to the tower, but actually, just watch it! To be smart about things, because I don't want to get there and be like, oh, that was stupid, that was foolish. Let's check. The Brace Guild? No, not there. There. Ah, missing guest. I guess I'll have to do some touring and fail to return by the specified date and time. We'd like to request an immediate investigation for details. Please inquire at the front desk of our hotel. Okay, because they could be in the tower. That's why I was wondering, like, maybe there's a monster in the tower, maybe there's a quest that takes place in the tower. Maybe, you know, maybe. So it's like, we'll make sure we get that sorted first. Welcome to the Zanrad Hotel. Do you have a reservation? Sorry, that's not why we're here. We came from the guild. Oh, are you Braces? Pardon me, we've been waiting for you. Can you begin the search immediately? Yes. Yeah, no problem. The request mentioned a customer hasn't returned in some time. So in other words, they're missing? Yes, that's exactly the case. He's been gone for 3 days. 3 days, huh? That is kind of worrisome. Lately the monsters on the roads have been pretty nasty too. Must wish that was where he had gone. No, the opposite direction. This particular guest, he's gone to the Limestone Cave. The Limestone Cave? The one that's like in the middle of the Chaldea Tunnel? Yes, exactly. The Chaldea Limestone Cave. We tried to stop him, but that's bad. The Chaldea Tunnel is infamous for ferocious monsters. I believe this. Why go there without an escort? Who was this crazy guest? He seemed to be a fairly ordinary young man. We checked in as Jimmy from Rouen. Jimmy from Rouen? Could it be? Do you know him? Yeah, I've done a job for someone with that name before. As I recall, it was a treasure hunter of some kind. Most likely he went to the Limestone Cave searching for something again. We'd be best away to the Limestone Cave immediately. If fortune doesn't favor this young man, it might already be too late. Yes, we should hurry. Do you have any other information? I've told you everything I can. Please take care of our guest. We're on it. Let's go. I mean, we're not on it yet. Like I said, I want to get the tower sorted. Even though we're heading up to that tunnel area, because that'll be... I ran straight into that. That would be like, God damn it, me. Like, yeah, it's like, the tunnel should have some stuff we haven't seen as well. Stupid snake. Right, so, yes, what we're going to be doing is what we've done in other videos and in other Let's Plays called Steel 3. I'm trying to avoid that like crazy because I know the tower's up here. And I'll be going through the game, going up the tower, heading to the top, getting chests. I'll still do the chest quotes, don't worry. Like, we'll be doing all that as we make our way up. But I'm going to basically not do my commentary right now and record it after the fact as we head up. So I can do the theories. You know, like more cohesive in my theories, not rambling a bit like I am now. So we shall head in now, and I'll take this over to future me. Over to you. Future me. Sounded weird. Indeed it did. Past me. But there is a problem. immediately here with this, because it's like we're going to get a chest and then another chest quite quickly. Like, there's 2 here, look. I have to do the quote. Orb mints, keeping your breath fresher, longer. I mean, very funny, but there's also another chest here that we have to do. Oh. You wondered if you could use art to turn this chest into a small wooden bathtub. Water would probably be fine. Fire heat it, likely not. And here's the thing, this, like, me doing those quotes, that's past me, because I did them at the time. So it's like I keep having to stop talking, so past me can catch up with where I am now, with these chests that are right here. I gave you everything I had to give. And yet, there's still another chest here. As you look into the darkness of the empty chest, it reminds you of the darkness that fills your heart. And there's another chest coming up after this, very quickly as well. Luckily, that'll be the last one for a bit of a while. The empty chest-shape tempts you to climb onto the top and start writing the next great Sumerian novel. You somehow resist the urge once again. Indeed, once again, because it actually seems familiar to one I've seen before. But anyway, let's get down to theories. Well, I say theories. I actually want to just make a correction on something I said previously in a previous video. The hot springs one, where I pointed out, like, doesn't cold steel end up being lesser because of a repeating sort of quest, a repeating idea? And I was like, no, wait a minute. I want to change my thoughts there. It's like, the difference between the quest in this one and the one in Cold Steel would have been 8 years. But most people playing these games these days don't have that time period, so they wouldn't have nostalgia set in. So I've changed my opinion on that because it would actually be a callback to this game. Simple as that. Back again, are we? Okay, so now we can get down to more theories. So, 2 theories coming up, sort of. More one's a talking point and the other one's a theory. So the talking point is very much like, why are they not guarding the towers? Like, why is the army not guarding the towers at all? Now, we know from the previous game at the end, we saw these 4 big devices that were coloured the same as the towers just descend into the ground. Or did they go up? It was something. Anyway, these 4 things, they activated. They're very specifically 4 of the same colour as the towers. So I would instinctively be like, they've got to be connected to the towers in some way. We should at least guard one of them. At least one, because that's what the society is probably after. That's probably what they're trying to get towards and try and get something out of this in some regard and take control or use them. I think we know where it's going with that because it's been a plot point already. Later on, is the best way of putting it. So why aren't they guarding them? I had a little thought about that. I've got ideas as to why they're not. Sorry, kid. I'm retired. And the obvious one is, they've still got, like, splinter cells with the intelligence division around. They're trying to find them, so the army's trying to capture them. And then you've also got the idea of, like, there's the signing ceremony thingy soon. So obviously the army's going to be focused on that as well. So there's reasons why they may not be guarding it, but it's sort of like it feels... It's a very significant thing when you get down to it. It really is. It's these towers are important. We know how important they are going to be. Do they just not understand how important they are at the moment? It's that sort of thing, like, again, you can make excuses. You can find ways around being like, well, they're not guarding because of that. But they are investigating them at least. Being like, hey, they've activated. But I just feel like there should be, like, one being guarded at least. Maybe there is. That's the thing. Maybe there actually is. Maybe one of the other 2 are being guarded. No, I'm just off base as a result of that. Maybe, like, the one in Rodent is being guarded. And then it's all fine. It's all completely fine. It's just that sort of like... It's not sort of like a bashing the game or anything like that. I don't think that. It's just a talking point of like... Don't you think they would be guarding it? Like, like an actual talking point, like throwing it out there. What are your thoughts on that? It's just like, it's not my... I have no, like, final thing in it. I've already made excuses in my head as to why I think they're probably not. But I'm just curious to what your thoughts would be on why aren't they guarding the towers? What do you think? Simple as that. So, yeah, it's that sort of like, you come up with theories. I want to see what theories you could throw out in this regard. So that's a little challenge for you in some way, like a potential theory you could come up with as to why aren't they guarding the towers? Especially because they know stuff's been activated. Stuff's been activated at the top. We know that they have an interest in certain locations around the towers, but so it's like, and we know like there's a certain receptacle that could easily fit a gospel. Like all these things, you could put them together. It's like, why aren't they guarding the towers? I throw it out to you. Other than, you know, the ones I've thrown out already, which are, they've got other things to do that need doing, because it's like they're going to have visitors from elsewhere coming and they need to guard things, so it's like, yeah, right. So, now onto the theory. This is where it gets like completely crazy. Just trying to connect dots in my head. There's not anything like massively substantial to this. This is just that sort of trying to figure out how the world works, piecing stuff together and just coming up with a general idea. Whether or not it'll be true, probably not. It's that sort of thing of like, why my theories start like getting more and more true. Like they do get more and more like clear on being like getting more and more accurate. It's like, yeah, but that takes time. Like the more we get towards the end, the more that's likely to be more accurate. It's just obvious that's going to happen. Obvious. So at this point, it's like just completely throwing out a wild theory. So this is a wild, crazy theory. Don't take this as like, this is what is happening. This is what I think is happening. It's like, hey, it could be this. Hey, it could be that. Who knows? That sort of thing. And this sort of goes back to my thoughts and feelings around, actually all the way back to a video I did back in Cold Steel 2. The one where I was like, I did that extra video of showing you how my mind works, connects strange dots together. I think I called it In the Mind of a Twit. You know, the theory time video. That was based around the idea of someone just saying like, do you even know what a Growlsritter is? And I didn't at the time, but because they said that, I connected dots in my head. And looking back at the video now, it's very much the idea of, I was very close. Because it's like, from that I could figure out a lot about like the Septine Church, Ouroborous, all that type of stuff. Just from someone saying the word Growlsritter. Yes. Gotta wait now. What if our universe is a chest in someone else's universe, and someone's going to open us, take everything, and just keep coming back? That's a stupid theory if I ever heard one. You know this chest is empty, so why do you do this to yourself? Why do you keep hoping? That one stung. And that's the thing. When I read that one stung. It's just like, oh my heart. Why do I keep hoping? Oh God. It hurts so much. Why does the chest hurt me so? But anyway, back to the actual theory. There's a big chunk now where I can do this theory, by the way, so it's like, yay! So, we look at the symbol, the icon, whatever you want to call it, for the Septine Church. And we've got this idea of like the firmament that I brought up before. Like, I'm not going to go into detail on that. It's like, that's previous theory. You will have to catch up if you want to know I'm going about there. So we've got the circle on the outside is the firmament with the three higher elements up there. That's where the goddess dwells. She who dwells in the sky. So that's the sky, that's the firmament. Okay. And then if you look in the middle, yeah, it's actually sort of like this orange area, which would imply stuff like lava, hell, Gehenna. So if you're seeing like the outside, a sort of like of this symbol that says the outside of the symbol, this is very much like the sky. It's sort of like the firmament. The middle, the orange bit, is Gehenna. Then you have to ask yourself, what are the other bits of this symbol? I probably have the symbol up somewhere on the screen at this point, just because it'll make it simpler for you to understand where I'm coming from. Probably put it in the bottom right or top right, something like that. So, somewhere away from the combat so you can actually see it and see what I'm referring to. Makes sense in some regard. So you've got these light brown areas. You've got like a yellow area, a light brown area, and a dark brown area. What if these light brown areas... Again, this is crazy theory, I remind you. This is not like me saying anything substantial. It's just trying to understand anything. Maybe there's clues in plain sight sort of thing. Yeah, we got this idea of... Fantafied B threw out the idea of planes and stuff like that. He said it at some point. I feel like it's been mentioned elsewhere as well. So what if this yellow bit is sort of like a barrier that's protecting Gehenna, from the brownish, light brownish bits. And the light brownish bits are actually Zemuria. Simple as that. And the dark brown bits is the outside, or whatever they called it. That sort of like otherworldly place that I can't really describe because we haven't really gone into it in the games I've played, so it's very limited in my knowledge there, but it's that sort of where the other things come from, like where the cryptids come from and stuff like that. Maybe that's there. But that seems to be sort of almost one block, is the best way to put it, like the space in between Zemuria. But the more I thought about that as an idea, it's like, well, actually there's 4 of them. Like, there's 4 sections, 4 light brown sections. So if my theory is going on the idea of like, okay, so this light brown area is Zemuria, because at first I was going with the idea like each side was actually a different Zemuria. Like the idea like that there's actually 2 Zemurias, and that Trails in the Sky actually takes place in a different world to the one in Cold Steel. They all follow the same story to a certain point, but then diverge and split, was where I was going to go with this idea. Then I was like, wait, there's actually 4 when you get down to it. There's 4 little light brown areas. So what if it's just the idea of like the stories diverge at some point, and that all comes back to adding the Phantom Thief B stuff with the planes, connecting it to the 31 cypress trees. Simple as that. It's like, what if we haven't got to the 31st cypress tree? Again, you have to have built all this stuff based on previous theories, by the way, otherwise this will make no sense. So it's like, yeah, this whole idea of the cypress trees. What if we're currently in a stage where 4 cypress trees have been planted, is the best way of putting it. And we're following these stories, and maybe they're actually, like, these different arcs are actually different worlds. But the stories are all following the same story at this point, but then they're going to diverge. I know, it's a crazy theory. I said this, it's a crazy theory. But I don't see how it's not impossible. I know it's not much fun to open an empty chest. But think about how much fun it was to open when it still had something in it. Ah, memories. This would also explain, by the way, the differences at the start of, like, Cold Steel, where, like, Crow wasn't there, Million wasn't there, the uniforms were different. It's like, that would actually explain that slight difference. Like, no, that was just one of the other Zemurias. And it's that sort of like, yeah, what we're seeing isn't just a gameplay difference, it is actually a story difference. It was canon that happened, just differently. It's very hard for me to explain how to go on that idea, so it's just that idea, like, what if? Gotta wait now. You find a whole bunch of caterpillars. They're kind of crawling and gross, but they've grown into butterflies. Or moths. Moths are kind of gross too. What if we're watching different parts of different worlds at different times? It's crazy, I know. I said this. The chest is empty now. So empty. So lonely. Please don't go. There's a bigger bit I want to talk about. There's another chest incoming though. I think there's another 2 chests coming based on the sound waves that I can see in front of me. So I don't want to speak about it yet. The chest is holding a beauty pageant with all its other treasure chest friends. But beauty on the outside can't save how empty it is on the inside. Again, another one that hurt me slightly. Just, it gets you right there. Right there. Monsters appeared. Yeah, that monsters appeared was past me as well. Right, so, where this also connects to what I said previously, where, like, some people have been like, your theory is leaning towards, like, Symphonia. It's like, yes. Which is sort of spoilers for Tales of Symphonia, by the way, so I warn you here. That's it, that's your warning, that's all you've had. So the idea is Symphonia is basically that there's 2 worlds, and each one is, like, vying for, like, the mana that's available. So at one point one has more mana and the other one starts to pull mana from the other world, and they keep pulling this back and forth. And it causes problems on the other side. Like, like a golden age, essentially, and then the other one starts to die, and they pull back the mana, and the other one starts to die, and the other one has the golden age. It's like a back and forth kind of thing going on. Don't want to go into too much into that, because like I said, it's spoilers. But the same thing could be happening here, because we know that, like, the Septian veins are a bit of an issue, and there's, like, the lands are turning to deserts over in the east. What if that's because there's another Zumeria pulling away, like, all the orbal energy from this Zumeria? And that's causing major issues. It could be. It's possible. It fits, but yeah. No freebies here, I'm afraid. Indeed. But yeah, so it's crazy theories. Absolutely crazy theories, but it's like, it's that sort of, I need to update you on where my mind is throwing out random ideas, keep you updated on, like, any random thing I might say in the future in that regard. So you guys, if you've seen and heard this, know exactly where I'm coming from with my thoughts. And it just needed a big section where I could just speak about it, talk about it, not be hindered by the gameplay or anything like that, so I wouldn't be like, oh, god damn it, Olivier! I wouldn't be bothered by anything like that. Emptiness as far as the eye can see. The only emptiness is the emptiness in my heart. Yeah, at this point we reached the top, so that's the end of the theory for me, so I'll be passing it back over to Past Me, who has no clue I've finally finished. Well, thank you, future me. It's weird saying that, seeing as I haven't recorded that bit yet, but thank you, future me. I don't know how that's going to come out, because obviously with the chests and everything, there's Gransel Castle. Yeah, with the chests and everything I'll be doing partway through and all that type of stuff. There's several points where you could tell I was annoyed at, like, certain things. I was trying to make emotions being like, ah, god damn it. So you knew how I was in the actual gameplay at that point. So, we'll see what I say in the future, but to you it was the past. But for now, we are actually done with this part. So in the next part, we shall go off and do that quest at the Cavalier Tunnel and the Limestone Cave. So we shall see then. Ta-ta. For now.